Dempsey Challenge
Yeah, I just put that up there real quick for you.
Whoa!
Nice.
Hi, kids.
All right.
Good.
You're making me look bad. That's good.
Slick, slick.
Is Patrick joining us, Karen?
Oh, another week.
You never know, right?
Well, thank you, everybody. Welcome to our first official virtual Team Captain Happy Hour. Yay! So, I'm Danica Delatetsky. I am the events manager for the Dempsey Center. So, Dempsey Challenge. I like to say that the Dempsey Challenge is my baby. So I just was hired on officially in July of last year. So this is my first Dempsey Challenge as event manager. Figures, right? So I know. Thank you. I will take that. But I have been involved with the center for a long time. Those of you who don't know me, I used to work at the hospital when the Dempsey Center was part of the hospital for 6 years. So I've been involved with the Dempsey Challenge. Actually, I recognize a lot of you. I used to work in the troubleshooting tent every year. So if you ever had a problem and was sent to troubleshooting, that was me. I was the one handling the troublemakers. So I do, since I know a lot of us are probably comfortable on Zoom right now, considering I think, I know I've been living on Zoom right here in this chair for what seems like 3 months now, but I do want to go over just some quick housekeeping rules. In a moment, Cheryl, hi Cheryl, is going to everybody just to help with background noise. So it looks like most of you already know what to do. You're already muting, but just wanted to let you know it's just due to background noise so everybody can hear. And if you do have a question, use the chat feature. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat. And you can click on that and ask a question. We will be hosting a Q&A session at the end of the call, and we'll answer any questions not answered today. If we don't have time, we will address them later in an email that we'll send out to you. We're also recording this meeting right now, so we will be able to email it to everybody after that you can refer to later. That's all I have for housekeeping. So we have a tight agenda. We have lots of information to share, lots of exciting news to share. So just again, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to introduce those of you who don't know, our executive director of the Dempsey Center, Wendy Tardif, and she's going to
Our host muted everybody. Hi, everybody. Yes, I think I know most of you, actually. It's really good to see all of you. First of all, I want to thank you all. Team Captains is a huge job, and it's a big part of what makes it so much fun for all of us that work on the Dempsey Challenge. Your excitement, your enthusiasm to bring teammates onto your teams and help us to fundraise is just so appreciated. So my job tonight is to just share a little bit with you about the Dempsey Center in these changing times that we're in, and a little bit of the silver lining that we're in as well. We pretty much moved all of our employees to work remotely starting March 16th, like probably many of you in your own jobs, and they've been working remotely ever since. I suspect since you're team captains, you maybe are connected to us a little bit through the Dempsey Center as well. And perhaps you've seen some of the things that have been happening, but basically we're doing pretty much everything that we've been doing in the center, we are doing remotely. Even when you look at massage therapy and acupuncture. So we're doing counseling services one-on-one with our licensed clinical social workers. We also are doing one-on-one, we're doing fitness consultations. Our own Tish Caldwell there is doing those. She's here too. You guys, most of you, if not all of you, know Tish. Judy Donnelly is doing nutrition consults one-on-one. We're also doing a number of different classes, yoga class, we're doing nutrition, cooking classes. We just got done our food as medicine, a 4-part series. So our staff has really flipped the way that we're doing work, and the way we're all talking about it now is we've just created a third Dempsey Center. So we have one in Lewiston, we have one in South Portland, and now we have one virtually. And the exciting thing about that is it was in our strategic plan, but we just met our goal a little bit earlier than we expected. And now we're going to be doing more work around doing more virtually and really getting out into the state more, working with some of the other cancer support centers around the state of Maine. So that's a lot of what we're doing now. And again, thank you for all you do, because it's because of what you do for us that we're able to meet the needs of those impacted by cancer in the state. So thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Wendy. Before I start launching into, I do want to introduce you to Karen Page. She's moving into the role of fundraising coordinator. I know a lot of you have worked with Tish in the past, and Tish still will be working on some fundraising, but she's definitely taken a step into more programmatic role at the center. So Tish, where are you? I know I saw you. There she is. But I did want to introduce Karen Page, who will be, who's our new fundraising coordinator.
Hi, everyone. I recognize almost every single name on the screen, but I've been behind the phone and on email over the past several years, helping to support folks through fundraising and questions about the Dempsey Challenge. I've been with the Dempsey Center for 6 years now. Actually, my anniversary is in just a couple days. So I'm really excited to move into this new role and be more involved and get to talk with you all more and help support in any way that I can in the fundraising role. So thank you guys for being here and for all the work you do year round. It's really wonderful.
Thanks, Karen. As we move through, you're going to see a lot of things that we're going to be doing for outreach, especially supporting you all during this time with fundraising. And Karen and Tish will be hosting Fundraising Fridays, like a lunch and learn series where we'll be teaching you about different new fundraising tools, and that'll be starting up, so be on the lookout for that. So you'll get to know her face quite a bit, I'm sure. So I'm going to go ahead and start with all of the updates and information I have to give you. Please bear with me. I have to do some scrolling and some navigating on a PowerPoint at the same time. So forgiveness would be great during this time. But as you know, as we all know, the Dempsey Challenge is not only an amazing, inspiring event that brings us together each year, but it is the primary fundraiser for the Dempsey Center. And of course, unfortunately, cancer doesn't stop during quarantine, so neither will we. And we wanted to let you know first, before we announce publicly what our changes would be for 2020. So here we are, and why not do it during a happy hour, right? So after extensive monitoring and reviewing current CDC guidelines, World Health Organization guidelines, certainly working with local public safety and public health officials, and ultimately with the health and well-being of our community in mind, we have decided to reimagine the challenge this year. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the run, the walk, and cycle events of the Dempsey Challenge will be virtual for 2020. I'm sure it's not a surprise at all. So that's the official big announcement, but there's so much more to it that we're really excited to share with you. So first, we do want to say that the virtual portion, the experience itself, will be hosted on two of the world's best activity platforms, Strava and Zwift. We will have so much more to come on this and the details surrounding on how you'll be able to participate and engage with both of these platforms. But we wanted to let you know that we're going to encourage you to use Strava specifically, which is a free app that you can download and track your activity in. We will give you support and encouragement as you complete your own Dempsey Challenge, regardless of your access to technology. So I don't want you to fear that if you don't have access to, you know, if you don't have a smartphone or if you're just not tech savvy, we will support you no matter which way you choose to go. So we'll have all sorts of options for you to be able to do the Dempsey Challenge this year. So what exactly is the challenge? Our goal is still to fundraise $1.5 million. We certainly need those funds every year to provide the complementary services and programs for people impacted by cancer. We are also adding an activity portion to the challenge. We are challenging folks to move 1.5 million miles collectively throughout training, throughout the challenge, all the way through culminating on challenge weekend. So $1.5 million fundraised, 1.5 million miles moved by participants. And the virtual portion, of course, will be hosted within Strava. And like I said, it's a free fitness tracking app. It has millions of users worldwide. And we will now have access to a global audience. It's going to give us a lot of new people that we will be able to share the challenge with. Also, for you cyclists who are Zwifters out there, we will be announcing really exciting details around a really cool challenge that's coming with Zwift in the next coming months. So, or actually I should say weeks at this point. So be on the lookout for that. But ultimately on challenge weekend, you're going to do the same thing that you've always done. You're going to run, you're going to walk, or you're going to ride just from wherever you are in the world. Okay, so, oh, of course, we'll have lots of ways to celebrate your accomplishments on challenge weekend. We're going to include live streams, we'll have Zoom experiences, and a few surprises along the way. So with all of that said, I know this is a lot of information I just gave you. I'm going to launch into some more information because of these changes and because we're going virtual. We are making other changes. So first one you need to know is that there's no required registration fee anymore. We're removing the registration fee. But we are, however, suggesting a $20 donation as part of your registration. We're also removing the required fundraising, the minimum fundraising. There will be no fundraising minimum this year. We're asking, raise what you can. We will be there along the way to support you through your fundraising efforts. We recognize this is a difficult time. So we don't want you to be fearful of joining the challenge because you wouldn't be able to make a fundraising minimum. So we're just removing that pressure from you. Also, everyone will be essentially a virtual challenger this year. You will still be able to pick your activity and distance. So we'll be offering a virtual run walk, of course, still the 5K, 10K distances. We're offering the virtual ride at the 10, 25, 65, 100 mile rides, all of the traditional distances that we've done before. And then new this year, we will have a choose your own challenge option where you can choose your activity, any activity that you want to track, including some of the ideas that we've heard and seen is kayaking, swimming, hiking, however you want to do, or however you want to move, I should say, throughout the summer. Track it and you can choose your own challenge. So your Dempsey challenge really can be what you make it this year. All right, I'm going to try to do a PowerPoint here, so bear with me. Let's see. Share screen. Okay. Here we go. Can you see? That's the wrong screen. There we go. Oh. Did that not work? No, it didn't work, huh? Okay, one more time. Let's see.
You had it for a second and then you switched off. So the easy thing is to, instead of share your screen, find the PowerPoint. You can share just the PowerPoint. Can you tell this is my life? This is what I do all day.
I can. Can you see this now?
There you go.
All right.
Oh, come back. There we go.
There we go. I did it. Okay. So I just want to take some time to start addressing some questions that I'm sure you have already with all the information I just gave. And certainly as I'm going through this and you're thinking about questions, put them in the chat. Go ahead and put them in the chat, and Karen will help us organize those later on. So first of all, you might be asking yourself, well, I already registered. Do I need to register again? And no, you don't need to register again. We're actually going to time it out with our platform where your registration will automatically be converted over to a virtual registration, and it'll reflect what you currently are registered for. So if you're a run walker who signed up for a 5K, you will now just be a virtual challenger runner or walker at 5K. Same thing with all of the other options. The only difference is we'll be adding an option of a choose your own challenge. So if you're currently registered, you don't have to do anything. We're going to convert you over. Another thing you might be wondering is, well, what happens to my registration fee if I've already paid that and there's not a registration fee? What we are doing is we are automatically turning all of the registrations automatically into a donation that will show up on your fundraising page towards your fundraising efforts. So that will immediately happen. You don't have to do anything there. If you do opt and you do want to have a refund, all you need to do is contact us at info@dempseychallenge.org, and we can arrange that. So just ask. We're here for you. We will help you with that. But ultimately, your registration fee that you've already paid will just become a donation now. Other things that you should know is that we are working on new incentives now. We have some lower price point incentives. So since all of you are registered at this point, there's the first incentive that's going to happen at $20 fundraise, which you will all hit because you paid the registration fee. That's at least 20 bucks. So the first one will be a virtual goodie bag that we're working on. Timing of that, we'll let you know when that will be available, but there will be some really cool promos in there, promotional codes, and other opportunities that will be in a virtual bag that you'll get via email at a later time. So you'll all automatically get that. Other new incentives at the $50 level, we're offering a fun gift that we'll be sending out to everybody if you hit a $50 level. And then at the $250 level is where our regular incentives start. So we'll still be doing some sort of an incentive. We're still working on what that could look like, whether that's, you know, a hat, a t-shirt, whatever that item is, will start like you normally would get when you were at the park with your specialized bag in hand. That will start at the $250 level. Next up, what else? Oh, also we're working on a grand prize package that will be exclusive and furnished by our partners, and everybody that's registered for the event that hits that $20 incentive mark will be entered into that drawing for a big prize package. More to come on that. And again, so there's no minimum fundraising. We want you to set a goal that's comfortable for you, but we are suggesting that the minimum fundraising level be $250. Next up, I'm sure you're wondering, well, if it's virtual, are we going to be able to have any in-person options? So during challenge weekend, if you can do so safely, you're encouraged to walk, run, ride, whatever you want to do for an activity with your Dempsey Challenge team, obviously following the current guidelines wherever you are. So get together with your team, do the challenge, track your mileage, and celebrate the way you normally would in a safe manner. Based on the guidelines at the time, we may organize some small outdoor activities that can be done safely. We're talking about a lot of things, just especially the special parts of our event. We're trying to work through how we can deliver some of those events, specifically the Survivor Walk. How can we translate that, and are we able to do that? So just know we're working on a lot of those elements right now on how we can do that. So of course, as a challenger, you will receive regular updates on that as we go. And then finally, I'm sure you're wondering how Dempsey Challenge is such a community event. How are we going to connect to the Dempsey Challenge community in a virtual world? And that brings me quickly to Strava. we want you to join Strava. You know, we encourage you to join Strava. It's free. You can download the app and connect to the community. We have a Dempsey Challenge Club already in there that we can communicate with our followers too. So please go in there, join Strava, check out our club, start tracking and start connecting. You could actually, once you're in there, you could actually make your own team a club and motivate your own team that way through Strava. So I'm gonna actually show you something next. I want to move in. So again, I just gave you a lot of information. If you have questions, start putting them in chat. We'll address them in a little bit. But I want to start connecting us back to the center and why we're all here and why we do the challenge. And I want to start by showing a quick 2-minute video. Since you're all team captains, this story will certainly resonate with you. Many of you may already know this mighty team and mighty team captain, which we'll introduce after. So let me do another screen share here. Come on, Znika, you can do it. And share. Oh, one thing I forgot to do here. There we go. Okay, share. Can you see that?
Seeing people in this flock of Orange Dragon t-shirts and tutus and clappers, and I just get so proud of that. Each year, it's just become bigger and bigger and more fun. There are 55 of us.
Nina Houghton Brown has been part of every Dempsey Challenge. First, as a team of 2, her husband Chris biked 50 miles that first year. Then, Chris was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
I have a picture of him after the challenge with 2 thumbs up, and he was as proud as I've ever seen him, and of course, I was too.
It's been 8 years since Chris passed away. Nina now captains the Orange Dragons against cancer, a symbol that represents Chris's connection to family and friends.
Strength in numbers, and team camaraderie, and team solidarity.
How do you recruit new team members?
I talk about it a lot in sort of casual conversation. We'd love to have you join our team. We have a Facebook page. It's Orange Dragons Against Cancer. We'd love to have you join us.
What's helpful in reaching out?
I know that there's an app this year, which I have downloaded. I'm very excited to do because I think social media is really important.
How do you motivate your team?
I had t-shirts printed for the team. One year I had a special t-shirt run made for the top fundraisers on our team. We have a potluck. We bring fun stuff, orange food, cheese balls, pumpkinhead beer and orange cookies, but it's a big deal.
Why share your story?
It's a very sad story. I am sad, but it's okay to share that story. And I think anybody who wants to be on the team and who's going to raise money needs to do the research and know what the Dempsey Center is and what their money's doing for it. It's a labor of love. And I realize there are so many good causes out there and good fundraisers and so much that does so much good. But for me, this is it.
Oh, that gets me every time. And I know, yes, definite thumbs up for sure. And I know each and every one of you have a story. But I do want to introduce Nina from the Orange Dragons team. There she is. Hi, Nina.
Hello. Always gets me.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Nina.
Of course.
It's very powerful. I would love for you to just share with the group. You're so successful at what you do as a team captain, and it's inspirational, really. So I would love for you to say a few words.
Well, I think the most important part of that statement is it's the team. People credit me for raising a lot of money and having such a good time and putting a lot of things together, but I couldn't do it if I didn't have people who wanted to be part of this team. I mean, me walking by myself or with my friends or a few, I have people who travel all over because this event is so important. It's run so well. It's so, you laugh, you cry, you dance, you walk, you bike, it's everything. And it is a little bit heartbreaking to think that we'll be virtual, but I think at the same time, the way you said it, this is the third Center. That's a perfect way to market it. I mean, people want to come from all over, but they can't this year. It's the safe thing not to do, but we will make it a blast, and we will still pay tribute to my husband and everybody who we've loved and lost and who are fighting and who have been impacted. And I can't thank you enough for that first statement, because it clicked for me. I mean, it's the third Dempsey Center, and I think that's brilliant. I've already talked to my guy who does t-shirts. We're gonna have masks made, and we're gonna send them to whoever, wherever they are. If they're on the team, you get a mask, and we'll have fun with our social media. We've got a Facebook page, and oh, you want a mask? Okay, you got one, Wendy. I'll meet you at SIA. But we have fun with it. It's very sad. It's heartbreaking. I did it, for Chris to bike 50 and then 25 with an ostomy bag and halfway through chemo. It's just, he did it and he loved it. And it's what kept him focused. Riding that bike, he had the bike. We walked into the store, we bought his bike, and someone's like, sorry, there's nothing he doesn't have. I mean, what are you going to buy here? He's built this bike so beautifully, but he could focus on that and not how sick he felt and how horrible he felt and how tired he was. So the center, the Dempsey Challenge, will forever be that for me. It gave him something to focus and kick ass at, and he did. So we're going to continue for as long as we can, virtually, physically, whatever. It's going to be a huge success. I won't let it not be. So now I'm done. I need to have some water now.
Yes, thank you so much. It's certainly a time of, uncertainty, and we all have to get creative right now. And I love the fact that you said, we're going to make orange dragon masks. We're going to, everybody's thinking out of the box right now,
Yep.
including the Dempsey Challenge team.
Of course. How
Hey,
could you
Danica?
Yes, Cheryl.
I think that it's time for our special guest.
Well, bring him in.
There he is. Oops.
Make sure you unmute everybody so he can hear.
Hello.
Where is he? There he is.
Thank you.
Light on the subject. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How is everyone? Good?
Here's my orange
Very
dragon.
good.
And there it is. Hey. Oh, great. How's it been going?
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. So, everybody good with the news? I think it's exciting. I think, first of all, I just want to say what a great job all the committees have done to get this organized and to be able to continue on with the challenge and do it virtually, which is going to be a trip for all of us. I think it's a good thing. I think it's the unknown, and we'll get through this. So,
No doubt about it.
questions? All good.
Let's
It's a
do
great
it.
opportunity because we know, I think they threw it on the Guinness Book of World Records, wanting to have a record-breaking attempt at, I think, the most. Is that right?
It is. I think he just gave away a spoiler, but that's okay.
Spoiler.
Who wants to give that away? Sorry.
That's yours to give away,
Is
Patrick.
that yours? What you doing? Sorry, man.
You're entitled.
I'm worse than my son. You can't tell anything to. It's just, yeah, what you should say. Tell them what's going on, what the deal is.
Oh, with Swift?
Yes. And what
Okay,
we're-
well, yeah. So, I mean, I feel like you should just say it, Patrick.
No,
should
you
just
do
go
it.
for
It's all yours.
Somebody say it.
We are working with Zwift to host the world's largest virtual group ride.
Oh.
You break the Guinness
That's so
Book.
awesome.
Yes, we are working on that. That's right. You heard it here first, but you won't see that in print for a while.
Yeah, I guess that should be under wraps. But anyway, so just to make it special, and to get everybody, so getting the word out there on the work that's being done at the center through this challenge virtually, I think is a great opportunity. And that's sort of the blessing in this. I think if you get past all the negativity and the sadness of everything, that we're really accelerating our ability to reach people virtually, which is really good. And this is an opportunity to continue that. And then if we can, I know we're looking in to get people on the ground if that's possible for the challenge. Who knows if that is or not, but we'd like to do something. And certainly I'll be participating, whether it's here in California or in Maine, we don't know, but we'll see. But everybody else is good?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lilacs are in Maine, so you can tell that they're out. So you can tell.
Lilacs and azaleas, pretty azaleas.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The sea roses are out this week too.
Yeah, it's pretty outside.
Is on there? Yes.
Nice
Well,
to see.
Smells lovely.
While we have a few minutes before we start our Q&A session, and we have Patrick here, does anybody want to share anything that maybe they're doing with their teams, or a thing out of the box thinking during this time? Does anybody have any creative ideas or thoughts that you're going to do for the Dempsey Challenge this year?
Orange dragon masks. They're in the works.
We were actually just thinking of showing up and riding the whole event, but there was nothing wrong.
That's one way to do it.
Sunday River will be out there.
Oh, just so you know too, for in Strava, if you go in Strava, we've uploaded all of the Dempsey Challenge routes, all of the run walk routes, and all of the cycling routes right here. So if you want to do the challenge routes, you can do it.
Okay.
What's going on down there? How you doing, Chris? It's funny because everybody just pops up, like single faces pop up, so I'm getting to see everybody.
Hi, Fran.
Everybody good?
Patrick.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm trying to
Great,
get if I can put everybody up, but
Great roll.
Gallery view.
oh, there's I got a bunch of faces up there now. I can see everybody.
Let's take an awesome picture while we have everybody. I see an awesome picture. Let's do a screenshot. Are we ready?
I've done plenty of those, believe me.
We'll do happy hour one, and then like a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy hour.
Oh.
Smile.
Wait, hold on, guys. Let me get it going here. Okay, ready? We're good. Go.
All right, and now how about we'll go thumbs up. Let's go thumbs up for Challenge 2020. Thumbs
We
up.
got it. Thumbs up.
Okay, hold that pose. Hold it. And got it.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, Patrick. Does anybody else have anything else for him before we start our Q&A?
They say it's been saying.
Oh, these.
I was just going to reiterate how great this is to be marketing it as the third location. The virtual location, we have 2 brick and mortar and a virtual. I think that is fantastic. And it's so easily understandable. So whoever came up with that way to market it, bravo. Really, it's a game changer.
Come on and join us. Tell everyone to say hello.
Oh, hey!
When are you coming back to Maine, Patrick?
We're actually trying to work out the dates right now. I'm trying to get back if we can, so we're working that out right now.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Been your longest stretch, probably.
This is the longest I've been home in over 20 years. I've not been home this long for over 20 years. It's the strangest feeling. I love it. It's great. I'm learning to embrace dishes. That's my new pastime. When you don't do that.
Do you cook?
Yeah,
do you
it's
like
been
to
really
cook?
nice. We've been having family dinner, so our whole time is okay. You know, around 1 o'clock, you go, okay, what are we having for dinner? And then we start that process. And everybody's still in the midst of homeschooling, and good.
The new normal.
Yeah,
The new
he's ready to
normal.
get
That's right.
out of here. It is the new normal. The Zoom room.
Yeah.
Life in the Zoom room.
What do we have for questions? Who has questions?
So we had just a few come through quite a few comments and excitement around Zwift and Strava. Quite a few folks are already using it, which is great. So there's some familiarity there. Braun wanted to share a little bit of info for anyone who's not on Strava as like a little bit of a heads up.
Well, it's more for those who haven't used it before, and given the fact that this is all virtual now, and you're out there, you're walking alone, you're riding alone, anything that can help encourage you is a good thing. And when you're logging your rides with Strava, your ride today on the same course that you did yesterday might have ended up being slower, and you can feel bad about that until you go, oh, but look, I was better in this section, so I'm improving. And when you're stuck riding alone, anything that can help you go, look, I am getting better, is a good thing. So that's something that I would definitely encourage if people aren't using it yet. It's a good thing to help people keep their spirit up and recognize that, yes, every day there's improvement. If you just come home at the end of the ride and go, man, that took 5 minutes longer, I'm getting worse. Well, no, you're not. You're actually not.
Yeah,
So
really good point.
It's encouraging in that solo ride or solo walk.
Absolutely. There was a comment that Patrick needs to join our group.
Yeah, I need to. I was just thinking, like, does anybody have the fastest time of what was done? We don't have any record of times for the event, do we? Do we know what they did last year for the full 100 mile?
It's on there, Patrick. You can look at the all-time highs for the course.
That'd be interesting. And then you can sort of test yourself against that in certain segments. I think while we're training, it'd be very good.
No, you don't want to test yourself against Michael Klaus.
You definitely don't.
No, but it's good to have the rabbit like that, so you have something to train for. Like if you could do a personal best, things like that.
So
I mean, I hate to, I'm going to set myself up big time, but if I could get the century, and that would be a goal I've not achieved. So,
right.
Those of you who haven't used Strava,
eliminate the bills.
Yeah.
a
couple more comments.
They have there is a leaderboard. Anybody that follows our Dempsey Challenge Club, there's a leaderboard within our club. So right now, I'm in the club, and I hate to admit it, but I'm the third to the last right now for the amount. But it's super motivating because I'm like, okay, no, we got to change this. I got to get this up there. So.
Oh, see, the way to look at that is, I wasn't last. I know who it was, but I wasn't me.
I do too, and he's on this call right now, but I won't call him out.
Just a couple more hints about Strava for you guys, then you can pass on to your team when you talk to them about this. There are two different versions of Strava. There's a pay version, and then there's a free version. So we're encouraging people to sign up for the free version. If you want to, you're certainly welcome to, but the Dempsey Challenge doesn't require folks to pay the membership and pay the monthly fee or whatever it is for the extra Strava. And then young people, we always want our young people to join us at the Dempsey Challenge, and Strava is available to young people. I think it's 13 and over, but definitely check the privacy policies on that. But it is absolutely accessible to most ages, which is great.
Great. Any other questions?
Yeah, some people are asking me if we will have the route available. Do we have a time on what the cutoff date is for yes or no to that?
As far as
if we allow people to run the route, depending on if there's this second wave of the virus, which a lot of people are talking about, where are we at with that? So when people ask us.
So we are, I mean, it's completely virtual now, but we will have we already uploaded all of the routes to Strava, and the routes are available also on our website. So if they want to go out and run it on their own using safety guidelines, it's whatever they choose to do. We are not hosting anything formally at all at this point.
Right, and the route won't be posted. If it's there, it's up to them if they want to
That's
do
correct.
Correct.
That's correct. Yep,
it. They're not protected under the challenge, any of that.
that's
It's
correct.
its own risk, basically.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's been posted already, as Danica said on Strava. The 2020 routes
Okay, good.
for feedback for 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
When is the announcement going to be made to the general public that it's going to be a virtual event?
Great
So,
question.
Monday, this coming Monday, the
Okay.
15th, it is going public. So, that actually is a great, oh, somebody said, Jim, you can do it now. Jim, go ahead. You want to say
What was
something?
the question?
Jim said, can I say something? And I say, yes, wherever you are, Jim, go ahead. There you are, Jim, I see you.
Interrupt
There's
anybody.
Jim.
I don't want to interrupt anybody. No, I was just
Floor
going
is
to say.
yours.
I was just going to say, you know, especially as a team captain in fundraising, you know, we're in a unique situation that, you know, in the past, a lot of our fundraising efforts have been face-to-face or local events. And with Zoom and with all this stuff going on, you know, we're talking Zwift going globally, doing you know, going for the Guinness World Record, doing that stuff. Well, fundraising follows the same suit. So happy hours like this, and if you get on the site, like Danica said, there are so many new opportunities for us to raise funds, get people involved, and not just to raise funds, but just get them involved with the Dempsey Center. And the challenge and what we're about is literally globally. And all of us know people all over the country, I am sure. You know, we have our friends and relatives locally that we tend to do these things with, but you know, this just kind of opens up a whole opportunity to spread the for lack of better terms, generosity of what the Dempsey Center offers to those outside of the region and get them involved in a virtual sense. And you know, hopefully it encourages people from away, as we say in Maine, from away, to not only participate in the challenge and donate, but also hopefully we encourage people to contact the center and become not necessarily clients, but we can be an advocate for them in their regions and help them with the challenges they struggle through too. That's it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
That was actually a perfect segue. And I just saw a chat note about Signs of Hope. We are working on a virtual option to capture Signs of Hope virtually and on our website. And we are working on options for that. We want to translate as many of the special moments throughout Dempsey Challenge weekend in a virtual way and throughout the community as we possibly can. So as more of those details come out, we will share them, but we are absolutely thinking about Signs of Hope and Healing. We're thinking about the Survivor Walk. How can we translate that in a safe way? We are absolutely thinking about all of these things. And as soon as we get them figured out, we will roll it out to you first thing. So thank you for mentioning that, because it means a lot to all of us, and we want to make sure we're capturing those feelings this year as well. But hopping off of what Jim said, which is perfect segue about getting people and recruiting people, and it's easier now more than ever, and getting people that you know, family and friends that might live out of state onto your team. You can do that now. Let's do it. So what I am doing is I am putting out a team captain challenge. Here is the challenge. Now, this was only the first happy hour. We are going to come up with a regular cadence to these happy hours. We're going to gather up the team captains. We're going to talk about how you're doing. We're going to give you fundraising tips. We're going to share ideas. And we're going to have fun doing it all summer long through to challenge weekend. So the first little challenge I have for you is a recruitment challenge. Now that starting really, this is going to start Tuesday. We announced publicly Monday. I did want to let you know, as we're going through that transition and you'll see registration fees turning over into donations, you might get new badges. You might get emails that say you got a donation. Just bear with us through that during that transition. If you can let your teams know that as well, certainly let your teams know before it goes public. You can certainly pass on the information we want them to know. There will be an email coming out tomorrow to all participants. So I'm sure that they'll look to you for guidance as a team captain. But of course, now that there is no registration fee, recruitment should be easy. Well, let's say this. It's a suggested $20 donation of a donation for a registration fee. But anybody starting Tuesday, any team that increases their team membership by 10 people by the next team captain happy hour, which right now we'll announce the date, but I'm thinking it's going to be June 25th. So a couple weeks from now. So within the next few weeks, anybody that adds 10 more people to their team, whatever your number is right now, will be put into a drawing for this custom Dempsey challenge made right here in Maine, right here in Lewiston by Rogueware. If you know Rogueware, they're an excellent community vendor, and they make this beautiful bag. Somebody will win this, the next team captain happy hour. So you will automatically be put into a drawing. You hit 10 more members right now, and we will do a live drawing for the winner next happy hour. So I think that's a good goal for everybody, right? Yeah, let's do it. And in the meantime, check out Strava, start getting comfortable in there. I know as we were going through and talking as a committee and trying to wrap our heads around a virtual event, for me, it meant so much actually just getting into Strava and understanding the app, understanding how it works. And I'm finding it really motivating. I'm finally getting back to my fitness. I know during this time of pandemic, I have sort of just kind of curled up into a ball and have been focused on meetings, but now I'm finding my health, I'm getting back to where I needed to be, and Strava is really helping me. So I encourage you to check that out, and encourage your teammates to check that out as well.
I just wanted to add too, following up on what Jim said, it's time to get creative, and Nina talked about it too, Orange Dragon masks. Part of what Tish and I are able to do for you guys is to help you talk through some of those ideas. If you've got this idea that you want to do a happy hour and you want to charge your friends $5 and you do some mixology kind of stuff, let us know and we'll help you with that. We'll help you talk you through it, help you give the technology that you need. I've done that. We've done that a couple of times with folks already, and we'd love to do more. So let us know what your ideas are, and we'll help you through it to make it successful.
Great point, Karen. Yes, use us as a resource for sure. And the great part is our new platform our new fundraising platform has the tools to help you. Really, the timing of a virtual event for us couldn't be better for you, for fundraisers, because we do have the tools for you to be able to do it virtually now, where we didn't have such a robust options in the past. So yes, use us. Great point, Karen. Anybody have anything else? Any other comments?
I have a friend in Colorado who wants to know how he will get his virtual lobster.
That needs to be an incentive.
You'll send it to him, Nina.
Yeah, we can definitely send it to him.
We can
Depends on
deliver
how big his
lobster.
team is.
The lobster is cheap right now. The shipping is what's expensive.
Right? Yeah.
We're working on that.
Oh, working on it? Really?
That's a great idea. If people had teams in different states, we could send them lobster for the finish.
Seriously, to one, yeah.
That is definitely a popular item in Texas, for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know about the lobsters in Texas.
That's actually
An incentive, a big donation, you get some lobsters.
That's not
If ever there was a year to get creative, I mean, why not? Why not throw it out there? Let's send the top
That might
team.
be part of the registration back.
Yeah.
Complete the challenge, get the lobster.
That's a cool idea.
I love that idea.
Coupon of some sort for a lobster company that ships.
Oh,
Good job,
Good
though.
idea. In the good bag.
I've got a connection.
flag.
Good job,
Oh,
everybody.
you go for it, Nina.
That's cool.
I'll put my thinking cap on. It's already on.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Any ideas like that, info@Dempsey Challenge, just start sending them our way. I mean, I respond to those emails, so you'll likely get me. So go ahead, start sending them.
Are you
We'll
sure?
start gathering.
Well, thank you
Danica.
so much, everybody. Yes.
Oh, Jim?
Can I say one thing? And we've talked about this in the meetings. Besides, we have a steering committee that's done all this work. That's an absolutely amazing group of people that have come up with all these plans. And the one thing we talk about in every meeting is all the frequently asked questions that we need to have out there. And as team captains, it'd be great to reach out to your teams and get information and send that to us as soon as you can get it. Because the faster we get this stuff, the faster we can get it out to all participants and future participants. We want to make sure that this is pretty seamless with the change, because it is totally different. So, in consideration of what's going on, please, if you wouldn't mind asking your team members and friends of questions they'd have, or ask them, tell them what's going on, and see what questions come up and forward them. Obviously, there's going to be duplicates, which is great. But if we can get that information, and the faster we get it, we can get out to the general public.
That's a great point, Jim. Thank you so much. We are working on a FAQ document that will hopefully answer every question. But again, just like Jim said, we can't think of it all. So as you're going through, if you're getting questions, please send the questions our way so we can answer them in that doc and update the website too. So yeah, great point. Thank you for that, Jim. Any other thoughts, comments before we sign off?
Great job. You guys did a great job.
Yeah, fantastic job. And also too, when you're building your teams, it's really nice if you could do sort of like StoryCorps, do videos of why people are participating, or any kind of little story, like 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds would be great. So we can start to bank those. And then through the course of the challenge, we can start to release those videos, I think. That'd be great.
Content.
Yeah.
Content, exactly.
Great point. Great point, Pat.
Vertically or horizontally?
Helpful. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting to be like a pro with your phone over there. So.
Yeah. Without a phone, we wouldn't have any life right now, would we? We'd be really quiet. No computers.
StoryCorps has a new app that really makes it easy to do that too. Virtual StoryCorps,
Okay.
Yeah, makes it all the better.
What's the app? Did you say it was an app?
StoryCorps.
Yeah, but they have an updated version that makes it so much easily connected.
Even if you want to like interview your team and like, why are they doing it? How many times have they done it? Is it the first time? Those type of things. There's so many wonderful stories that come from that we can share with people.
Absolutely. I love that. That would be so helpful too, to share out to everybody, to let them know your why. Why do you do this? Why are you part of the Dempsey Challenge?
Patrick, my name's Colleen, and I just wanted to tell you this is the first time I've ever seen your face, really.
Oh, really?
But I've been following you forever, and I listened to the 10% Happier interview you did, and I was so blown away. And I have family all over the country, and I said, I cannot wait until one of these Dempsey Centers shows up in your town, because it's the best possible thing that happened to Maine,
Wonderful. And where are you? Where do you live?
Live in Bath.
You're in Bath. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
My husband's a fishing guide out of Bath, and if any of you guys want to come, you all come.
No.
What?
Careful.
Right?
What did she say?
We're coming fishing.
Big stripers come July.
We need a bigger boat.
Right on. Well, pleasure to see you.
Thank you. You too.
Well, yes. Thank you all so much. It means so much.
Here we go. Never too young for Zoom.
Sorry, Patrick. There's a new favorite in town here.
Indeed.
Will he be trike ready by September?
Yeah, he's already working on his run. He'll be 5K by then.
Oh my God, is he cute?
Fantastic.
Oh, he's adorable.
5 curl.
Not eating bagels.
Beautiful.
Baby bomb. That was awesome.
Good, sweet.
Oh, I got him on screen too, Trav. So.
Well, thank you all so much. It was so inspiring for me, and I know it is for all of us here, especially all of the committees and staff that have been working so hard to try to reimagine the challenge amongst this time, and to hear and see you and see you excited, and hear that you're going to be supporting us during this time is so meaningful and so inspiring, and it's going to keep us going. So thank you so much. The gratitude I have for this group right now, I'm actually getting emotional. So I just really wouldn't it be the first time?
Here you go. You need tissue.
Yep.
Here's a virtual tissue.
Oh, thank you. And why couldn't I have some tissues? That would have been brilliant if I could have just pulled one right here. But,
Time. Well done to you too, by the way. Really well done. This was a good call.
Yeah.
Well done, Danica.
It is a team effort, 100% team effort. As you know, Nina, I basically feel like I'm saying the same words that you just said earlier. It's a complete team effort. Thank you so much, and that extension is all to all of you as well. So I think with that, we can say cheers to our first virtual team captain happy hour. Cheers. Cheers. And there we go.
We'll see you soon.
We will see you soon. Dempsey Challenge 2020.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
More team members. More team members.
And more team members. Thank you.
See you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.